Okay, here we are. I think I just had I went through the chord A. I'll run by that again. And what happened was the phone rang and I had to answer it. A is three strings. It's not the first string, and this is fret 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so on fret 2, it's all the way down. Bottom 4 strings, except that actual bottom one is the wrong one to play. So most people don't put their finger on there. They just move up one string and start with the second, third, and fourth string. That's the actual A, but I want to teach you the bottom 4 strings, most likely the most important. Okay, so what you do is you go to the 5th fret. And it doesn't matter if you're on the bottom string or the bottom 2 strings. Now, a way to take care of that other than this is an actual chord that played this way too, is to bar it. Okay, so that means this is one of the first bar chords. And so I put this finger on the 4th fret and I push the top 2 and the bottom 1 with this one, and I kind of cross my fingers with my middle finger over the top or near my ring finger, and I portable. I'm clear up to. I went over the idea of the names of the strings, not needing them, but that the 1 chord, the A chord, and this is the A chord pattern playing an E. There's an E. I haven't taught you the E yet, but I will. But the idea of it only goes up to G and then starts over with A again. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Okay, just like that. And so you take you need 3 chords to make a song. Now, the old songs, there were some that just played 2 chords. It was the 1 and the 5. Those are the most important. But 1, 4, and 5 are the names of the 3 chords that you need. And so if we're starting in A, B, C, D, you're going to need to learn D, and another most important one is E. Now, E is fairly easy to play. So if you start in A, you can start in anywhere. But if you start in A, you're going to need to play the D, the number 4 chord, and E, the 5. And then there's a 5 of 5 that I played in a medley the other night. I was singing along with myself so I'd have something to play. So we're going to start out with that A chord again. And I'm going to not hit the bottom string, leave it kind of dead. So I just strum over. So you can play this all day. And clear up here, past 12th fret, 13th, 14th fret is the exact A again. It's a repetition because we're up 2. We're playing at the 14th. Okay, so you can play that a lot. The next chord is the E, and it's on the 2nd fret. You take these 2 fingers here. I'm going to show you this one way because I'm looking bar chords at a fast pace. So these 2 fit on those 2nd fret on the 4 and the 5 strings. And if you just played those down, just those two notes, now other people play it with different fingers, but those 2 strings being pushed down, these, nothing else, that is an E minor. It's the 6 is open, the 5 is on the 2nd fret, the 4 is on the 2nd fret, and the rest are open. But we're going to take this middle finger and put it on the 1st fret, on the 3rd string from the top, which is from the bottom. That's number 3 string. And that is the E chord. Now you can configure your fingers around. Some people play it this way. I've seen them try to make heads and tails out of things. Whatever you can do, but I'm telling you, if you can play without this finger here, and it might take a while to toughen up both your fingers and your whole hand muscles, okay? Now you can see my thumbs over the top. I'm just grabbing it. I can play this. I can hold it up by itself and sing along. Okay, this is my E. A. Now I'm playing it instead of with this finger, I'm just mashing it here. Trying not to play the bottom string. Okay, so now we got the A and the E. I'm not going to tell you the names of the old songs. You can't remember that far back. But there's plenty. There's plenty. There's people that just make up songs that are just on 2 chords. But most songs definitely have 3 chords. Some have 4. Here's the 5 of 5. I'm going to make this a portable chord. I told you the other A was portable. That's the E. When you get up to the 7th fret with your index finger is on the 7th fret, and the 9th fret, here's your A pattern, is an E chord. And there's a lot of chords in between. Okay, so here we are with the E, and I'm going to play it here with this one and use this one as the bar. This hits the bottom one and the top 2, and you kind of mash between those 2 strings, 5 and 6. That's where you put the pressure. And this is not an E here. The E was down below it on an A. This is an A chord, which is right down here. Oops, sorry, that was a B chord, which is down here, only on the A chord. They're a lot alike. They're the same. So there you go. You got your E. You got your A. I could be playing in either chord right now. You don't know. I don't know. I can start in A and end in A. I can. So that was an E. It doesn't matter, because if you just know 2, you can play anything. But A and E. A is the 1 chord, and E in that light is the 5 chord. So the song's going to be in A. You start in A, you're going to end in A. Okay, it sounds like it's an in-between. That's because we're missing a chord. The chord is D. Now, D's a weird-looking little thing. It's the 2nd fret, first string, and the 3rd string on the 2nd fret. The middle one is the 2 string, and we're going to go up a fret with this index, with this ring finger right here. That's a D. That's one of the 3 chords. If you can play those 3 chords, you got songs. I can sing one to you. Oh, happy birthday to you. Everybody's singing blues. Everybody I know sings the blues. Everybody's singing. Everybody's crying because they're happy. Everybody's singing the blues. So there he is. It's a matter of fast changing. You can slow down. And if you're going to start singing, you should start singing along anytime you can. Because if you're only playing, when it comes time to sing, it's going to be hard. It's going to be like starting over again. So if you're humming, now 5 means that I'm going to go back to the 1. You always end in the 1. Okay, there's a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Grandpa. Oh, yeah. Happy birthday to me. It's not my birthday, but I'm just showing you that there's a progression. It always comes back to the A. You you can add other chords to there. And I think I showed you that when you went for the E, there's an E minor right there. 2 fingers, both on the 2nd fret. Well, on the A, if you take off that ring, that little finger there, that's on the 2nd fret, and move it down to the 1st fret with your index finger, you're playing an A minor. Usually you don't play both those chords in a song, but you can, and there are songs that have both. Needs a little tuning. Now that D chord I was showing you, bottom string, 3rd string, and ring finger on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. Oh, now if that's the 1 chord, D, E, F, G, you got to learn G, and what comes next? A. You already know A. So you're going to have to learn the 4 chord. If you started in D, the 4 chords, the 4 chord is a G, and the 5 chord's an A. Okay, the G. From right here, the easiest way to play a G. Now I haven't shown you the D bar chord. Now I told you there's 3 bar chords. A is 1, E is 1, both important. D is another one, but right now we're just learning to play it, so I'm going to tell you, all you do is you put your little finger, now right now I'm on the 2nd fret, 1 and 3, and I've seen configurations of all types to get that fingers in the right there to play that easily. Electric guitar is the easiest one to play, so there it is. And the easiest way to go to a G is put the little finger right underneath that one. So now you're on the 3rd fret with your little finger and ring finger. Little finger on the bottom one, ring finger on the 2nd one. String number 2, 3rd fret. You're going to take the middle finger and put it clear up on the top, right above those other 2, in other words on the 3rd fret, and the index finger is on the 2nd fret, string number 5. Now you don't need to have the ring finger. A natural G does not have the ring finger, so it's only, you might want to change, but a natural progression from D to G, you can use that for like a bass. A rock. I'm standing on the rock. Yes, Jesus. Hey, well, he ran through the brush, he ran through the bushes, he ran through the road where the rabbit couldn't go. Now, again, if you're going to start in D, this is the 4 chord, and an A is the 5 chord, so you're always going to play in a circle. There I am humming. Change my fingers around to these 2 sometimes because I'm always wanting to try to keep this index finger away as much as possible because it's a bar chord. This is a bar chord too, but my gosh, you gotta reach back so far that it's easier not to do that and just play that A, because that is an A. Okay, when we moved up from a G, what was right after G? Starts over again, A. But G is by itself a chord. G's played other ways. That's the only time they actually play it right there. Other than if you start out in G, A, B, C, you got to learn C and D. Okay, C is a chord by itself. D. So it depends on where you start, but it's a circle. And the 3 chords you need are the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. So after this, I'm going to tune up the guitar a little bit. I got some practicing myself to do. I'm not a professional. I just know the chords. I can play chords all day, pretty much. Pretty much all day. You move little fingers around and make different sounds. On the A, I showed you an A and I showed you an A minor. But from an A, you can move, you're on the 2nd fret, you have 3 strings in a row covered, but if you take off the middle one, it's an A7th. You don't have to play an A7th, you can play an A. Another A is if you add all 3 of those strings, and at the bottom string, if you add your little finger on the 3rd fret, that is also an A7th. So right there we have 4 chords, A minor, A7th one way, A7th another way. I could have showed you E. E's right there, and I showed you if you took off and just played the two strings, 4 and 5 on the 2nd fret minor, but if you played the E and you lifted up the middle finger, so there's a gap between number 4 on the 1st fret and number 3 on the 1st fret and number 5 on the 2nd fret, and there's a hole in that 4th string. It's called E minor. I mean E7, sorry, E7. That's called an E7, but if you played an E and then added your little finger right here on the 3rd fret, 2nd string, is an E7th as well. The D's, D7th is actually a backwards D. Instead of having this ring finger on the 3rd fret, 2nd string, you put it on the 1st fret, 2nd string, and that's a D7th. Okay, so those are just some little tidbits of chords. The C, I didn't show you a C. It's an angled one, which if you took your D and you changed it around, you use this finger, your index finger, right? I'm going to play a bar chord in a minute, right here with the D. And I mashed them up right across there, let's say. I don't even need to. It's just really the bottom 4 strings with this one, like an A. And then you went your pattern up here, all the way up here. It's the hardest one to play. It's long. Starts up here on the 5 string, 5th fret, the 4th string, 4th fret, open 3rd, and I'm on the 2nd fret. And then this one is on, the D is on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. I do need to trim those nails a little bit. Okay, that is a D. So now let's go to the bar chord D. Okay, it's still a D. And here's what we're going to learn right now. We're going to learn one pattern real fast, bar chords. That's what I've been working on. And so now I'm just playing on the bottom 4 string for most part. I can use my little finger up here on the 5th string. But I'm just playing. If I played a D on the 3 strings, I raise this one up to the index finger on the 2nd fret, so I'm covering all 4 strings with my index finger, 3rd fret, 2nd string, and the 4th fret, 4th string. Now if I added the little finger right there, whether I have this on or not, that pattern right there is a C. That is, slide it down 2. 1, 2. That is a C. Now start switching your fingers around and it sounds the same. That's a common C. And C is what I said you needed if you start in G. A, B, C, and D. you need a G and a C and then the D. That's the 5 chord, back to the 1 chord. Yeehaw! Okay, so there you have different starting places. Now let's go back to those bar chords, because D bar chord is pretty important, because right after D, if you remember what an E looked like, let's play an E. Let's move it up 1, and all you're doing is mashing the bottom 2 strings. We're not playing the full all the way across E, which is an F. After E comes F, and then F sharp. Okay, so now we're just playing the bottom 2. That is an F right there. And I'm actually playing the 5th string as well, putting the last 2 together on the 3rd fret, strings 4 and 5. I got the bottom 2 mashed. This middle finger's on the 2nd fret, 3rd string. Okay, so now if we just cut that down, take that off, and move this down to the bottom 4 strings, it's portable. And the farther up you go, the less reach there is between frets, between fingers. Okay, so now that's the E one. If we hold it right there and we remember what the D looked like, we slide it back 1 and play a D onto the 4 strings. So the pattern is there's only 1 more to go. So the song starts out and playing the D. Now we play, slide up 1, and all you do is move these 3 fingers around. This middle finger goes from the 2nd string to the 3rd string. This one mashes down the bottom 2. So there's a lot of potential there. You gotta learn to play that. E, up, mash these 2. The only difference from this 2-fingered E on the 3rd string, 1st fret, and the 4th string on the 2nd fret is you pull it up and then you mash the bottom 2 down. Now we're clear up here. Let's move on up to the 7th fret, 8th fret. Now we're going to move back down to the D. D is the number 1 here. So it's D, E, F, G. Well, these are going to be called different now, because right here on the 4th fret is really an E. So that'd be an F, G. This is your G right here. It's a G chord played as a D starting on the 7th fret with your index finger. Okay, now we're moving it up 1, making it into an E pattern. Now we're going to go back. There's 2 things you can do here. Go back. You can go this chord right here, slide it up 2. Then go back to that last one. And then go back to the 7th fret as a D. Now that's a lot of movement there, so what I've found is you can go from right here up to this one, back down. Now I'm just going to take the 2 fingers here off and play an A, and I'm going to add that little finger right here. That's the 5 chord. So once again, I'm going to start here with my D pattern. Move it up 1 and change chords. Back down. Back to this A pattern. And from here, I mean, there's a lot you can do. Once you have a portable chords, those 3 chords, you can just play 2 chords and move your hands around, as I showed you here when we were playing the D. And we changed it to an E. And then we slid it up to. That's actually only 2 patterns. And again, I don't play the A. Now I just have to move everything out of the way. I got this barred, and I'm just going to play those 2 fingers, and it's going to be a D pattern. And since I'm controlling with this hand, when I play an A, I don't have to hit that bottom string. I don't have to play it. And it doesn't matter if you have a pick. You can get really picky, okay? That's what they called it when you're nitpicking, when you're picking little bitty things. You can pick the patterns you want to play up here with a pick really carefully, and you don't hit that bottom string. And you don't cram this down to push that down. You let it float. It's muffled. Because you're putting all the pressure, you put all the pressure on the 3rd string when you're playing that A. Even though you're reaching to the 4th, the pressure is on the 3rd string. Yeehaw! So see, I started right there with that A, and the only way to really start is with the D pattern. And now you can slide that A down instead, but you still got to come back and play this D right now, right now. And what I'm working on is moving. So here we go, since we're working, and you're right here with me. I'm going to play this D. I'm going to play this A. I'm going to slide it down 2. Newsboys had one. Everybody has them. That's the 4 chord, 5 chord, 1 chord. 4 chord, same. This is the E pattern up here, 1 above the 7th. So there's the 5. Also, let me show you this. Since I'm right here, I'm playing a D, and you know what the E looks like. The big jump, though, I want to advance as much as possible, and I'm going to go down to the 4. And then you can see that right here, there's the next one is nothing's on it. And that's where this ring finger is going to go right here. Is going to go right there on the 4th string and play an E. Whoops, sorry. Actually, it was on this one I was on here. So I can actually start down here. Everything just moves, okay? So you learn the bar chords and you can play them, and you don't have to reach up here, and you don't have to waste it becoming just maybe a jazz kind of guy where you're playing all the chords, okay? So also, this is the same note chord as sounds, the same chord, okay? This is the G down here. I told you G looked like this, or like this. But the other kind of G is an E right here. So let's go back up here and start on that D pattern on the 7th fret. And let's travel. A chord right here. I'm going to call it the A chord because you know what an A looks like. I'm muting the bottom. I'm not even playing it. I'm going to slide down to. Now I'm going to play that E pattern with the ring finger on the same one as I just left right there. Same one. Remember, that's the 1 chord now. So the one right before that is a D pattern. So this is the A pattern. So that's a whole round there too. So we just moved it. You can play it in a different place. Some places are easier to play. You'll find that out. Oh, yeah. And if you were paying attention, if I drop down 2, that's the C. But I'm just playing, I only need to play 2 strings. But I do have to come back and finish it with a G. I got some wobblies on my amp there. There's a lot I can do with an amp, and I saw one that sounds like you're singing. So I mean, there's different pedals and all kinds of reverbs and that you can add. Now we started there. I don't know how much time I got before somebody calls me, so you got to get with it here. So from this D pattern here, we went up. Remember, we just went down. Now we went up. From here, what did we play? We played the E pattern right there. And I showed you at the beginning of this that if I go up 2 more, that's the 4 chord. And then if you play an A pattern right there, we are traveling, because that is a G chord. So now we can go back down. We go from here, turn into an E, slide down 2, to slide down 1 and play the D. And then take off your fingers to an A chord. Yep. And you can just keep going. Let's slide up. Slide up 2. Let's make that A. And what do? We know we're going to go on up. So let's, right now on one of these beats, we're going to change hands. There it is. I went from my ring finger on that, playing the A chord, to my index finger playing on the A chord. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a D chord. Up 2. Up 1 and play an E chord. How about my guitar? I need a longer neck. You got a 12-foot neck. I could probably play a little longer. Then we can work back down from here. Anytime you play this chord as the 1 chord, you can go back 1 and play a D. Down 2, play an A chord, switch fingers, play an E chord, down 2, and play again a D chord. From a D chord, you remember what it was? A chord. Slide down 2. Now, because I didn't switch to this finger here, it would be a hard jump from here to my other E chord. So even though you're thinking, right here, one beat you might play it with your index finger, the next you can play it with your ring finger. You're going to get fast at this. And then the E chord, slide down. Whoops, E chord. D chord. Slide down 2 to a C, and then play your G. And then the D chord is the ending. Then start all over again. Once you play that E chord or D chord, you're ready to come back and start the song again. Hey, hey, hey. I didn't drink any water. So I can go from the 1 chord to the 5 chord to the 4 chord. It doesn't matter how long the song is. You can't end the song from a 4 to a 1. You got to go to the 5. And then from the 5, you'll always go the 1. And the only song I can think of is, right now, my mind's a little blank, going anywhere without getting a drink of water. C chord, D chord, and a G. I probably ought to stop, tune up the guitar, and record something different because I want something to play along with. So I always try to figure out what I want to play because I'm going to try to be a lead player someday when I grow up. Even though I'm a grandpa. You think I'm quitting? This is where I'm having fun. Yeah. All fell like a million pieces falling from the blue sky. Where's that water? I don't have nobody but me. Kissing your cares goodbye, goodbye. From a blue sky. Now they switch into they throw in a fourth chord. They can actually change the pattern. You can also, when you're in the middle of something, you can raise it up a note. Now, when we're playing the E pattern here, and we play this one underneath, it's the A pattern, up to, always back to this one. And I got a video on that already. And I mentioned last night on one where I was playing along, getting something going so I could play along with it later. That I can get some slinky ears. These are super slinkies, but I think you can get extra super slinkies, and it's going to be easier on your fingers to push down. And if you'll notice, there's a front end and a back end and the bending in the middle. The middle is always, you can bend it the most, okay? 3 blind mice, really? See how they run? And then there's a chord right there, see that? And if you know which chord you're in, is it the 1, 4, or 5? Well, there you go. You take it from there tonight. I showed you a bunch of chords, and they're the basic chords. You can play this video until you're not blue in the face, but that you broke in and can continue. Now, just like I tell all the kids that they come back from wrestling practice or track practice or whatever, and they're sore the next day. Well, couple weeks, guys, you won't be sore anymore. I knew a guy that learned more than I did in like 3 or 4 months. He was just full blast. Yeah, he's for the Lord, and he's singing right now. Wherever he's at, I know him. I don't know where he's at. I haven't seen him since, is that 30 years ago? It's been a while, but I know the guy, his heart. It's there. And my ministry is to the Lord. I just started videotaping myself singing, well, practicing, okay? I haven't done this for a while. It's been many, many years since I really sat down and had, a repertoire of songs to play. But after I get a drink of water, maybe I'll play something else. Definitely going to play some more, because it's just like playing around. Wife's not here. Yeah, not here today, so I get to play around. Someday, praise God, she'll be back, Lord willing. Or I'm going to retire and I get to go down there, okay, down on the farm. Man, oh man, I love being down on that farm, and I just can't right now. I'm the breadwinner, and I just want you to know I'm just picking up a ministry here, and I can tell you about the gospel too, and I'm going to do that. I'll just be on this channel just talking till I get kicked off, booted, or maybe they think that's profanity when you call the name of Jesus out, I mean, there's other religions that try to kill every Jesus believer there is. Yeah. And within the church, within any church there are wolves, and those wolves try to bring you down too. You know, they're naysayers, they're negative. I hope this blesses somebody's heart out there. You know, I'm thousands of miles away from home right now, and I'm not crying about it. I'm blessed. God has blessed me, truly blessed me. Not that I'm a pro at anything, not that I'm a pro. It's just that I am who I am, and you are who you are, and you have gifts. I can tell you one story real quick. I was teaching at a school where kids from all over the states came over to a boarding school, high school, and they came from everywhere, mostly west of the Mississippi River, down from Alaska, etc. And there was a kid there, and he was from the bottom of a canyon, deep canyon, probably the world's biggest canyon. Here it's well known. And he couldn't read at the time. And you know, I make those big word searches. That kid could beat everybody in the school at getting it done. Couldn't read a lick. Didn't know what he was doing, but his eyes, we're all made for something. We're all made for something special. I'm up among the hunters right now, and I'm glad I don't have to go hunting. They bring it to me because I'm an elder now. So, good luck to you, and God bless, and I'll see you later on. And thanks. I hope you join me in following, and if you get something going and you want to do something, show me something, just send you a link over here, and I'll be reading them, and I'll come watch you. All right, take care.